Hi everyone. My name's Ryan Sutton, and I chose to go with option two, an arts experience that changed my life. Um, so to start with my thesis. When I started my freshman year of high school, I decided to join band, and I had done band in middle school, and in elementary, but I just wasn't sure if it was something that I wanted to pursue in high school. But I know I needed an elective unit, and I know I needed a performing arts. So I ended up deciding to do it in middle school and high school. And this slide talks about my beginnings. I started in fifth grade, and I decided I wanted to play the alto saxophone. And also, my cousin had an extra one, so that made it easy because that way I already had one. I didn't have to buy an instrument. Um, we just did basic stuff, learning notes and tempos. And by the end of sixth grade, I could play easy songs, but the tune wasn't good, and I still need had a lot of room to improve. And by middle school, this is when I started to learn a little bit more complex things, higher notes, lower notes, different treble clef, all that stuff, different sharps and flats as well. And by eighth grade, I could play pretty difficult songs, and by eighth grade, I probably had five or six concerts done, so I was getting better at learning how to read music and read songs, and also following the conductor. Um, so here we get into the marching band, and I was unsure if I wanted to do it freshman year, but I ended up just wanting to try it. I didn't really know what to expect. One of the first really hard challenges was band camp because when you're in summer, you don't really want to go back to school 2 weeks early, and the practices were pretty long, Monday, Thursday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So, and we got dinner at I believe we got dinner at 3. They were long days, but it was needed to make sure all the music was known and just to set everyone up for success. As a freshman, I really wondered what I was getting myself into a little bit, especially after band camp. So I was like, wow, these are longer than sports practices. The show begins. So at my school, we do competitive marching band. So this is where we basically perform a show with props, dances, obviously marching, and we are scored by there's two or three judges up in a booth that are watching the whole show, and then there's judges on the ground that are watching your steps and listening for the music. Um, Practice started at the beginning of August, and our first show was in the middle of October, so we had a lot to do. One of the challenges were we practiced 2 hours every day after school, so it was sixth and seventh period. And then on Tuesdays, 5:30 to 9, and Saturdays, 10 to 5, to perfect the show. And my band director was kind of a perfectionist, so they're pretty hard practices. The struggle, I would say, was just performance anxiety, and the performance days were very long. Sometimes we had out of town shows where we had to get on a bus like 8 hours before we even played, so there was just a lot of anticipation. Mostly my freshman and like a little bit of my sophomore years, I started doubting myself just because the music was pretty hard, let alone marching while playing. So I started to get a little discouraged. I just focused on remembering my steps, and I played the music as best as I could, and I didn't play anything that I didn't 100% memorize. And oops, challenge. I remember one of the challenges my freshman year of the championships was in the rain, and we still had to perform. That was just hard on our instruments, and our suits got all wet and everything. So that was definitely a struggle. The realization, uh, overall, the realization I'd say that I have a love for music, and that now I have a love for marching band. And by junior year, being involved in music and marching band, I would say had changed my life just because it was part of who I was at that time, and just it was one of my main interests. I'll go back and watch our old performances on YouTube a lot, and I still to this day play the saxophone. I just pulled out Actually, just got some new reeds and pulled out my saxophone, and I'm gonna be playing some Christmas music for the family. So, lesson I learned: if you're scared to try something, just try it. You might like it, and it could make your life a little better, or it could give you a new interest that, it's fun for you. And I loved being in marching band, and I definitely didn't regret it. So that is how marching band changed my life. Thank you.